Sorry, se me había
Don't
olvidado.
worry, but I'm not going to repeat that.
It's okay.
So, well, now here we are with beautiful friends, of course, that are joining us, that has been with Alex for a lot of time, with love and caring for all his for his work. My name is Monica Garcia Diego, by the way, and I am the editor of the latest books of Alex since I think that maybe 8 years working together. And it's been a pleasure. I feel really, really grateful for his honesty and for his confidence and in choosing me to work with this amazing movement that he's creating around the spiritual evolution. So I would love to give the microphone to wonderful friend. She's Yvonne de la Flor, speaker, author of the book Faith in Action, and creator of the Code of Ah. So welcome to Yvonne. Hello, Yvonne. It's lovely to having you here with us.
Hello, thank you so much. And may I recommend Alex and Monica that you can spotlight your video. And also, I'm seeing a beautiful picture of a beautiful man. I think he's Saduai with the blue. I cannot see your picture of your book, which I think is important to see it. So I don't know who you guys are seeing. Hi, Shasia. Hi, Mireya. Hi, Bruno. Hi, Grace. And can you see Alex and Monica? And can you see the book, everyone? No.
No.
So it's important to see the book because we can see this beautiful, gorgeous man. I think it's Saduai, I don't know. But I just want people to be able to see the transmission of your cover, the transmission of your book.
There we go. Yeah.
There we go. So welcome, everyone. It's such an honor. I think I have 10 minutes or so. It's such an honor. Thank you, Monica, for the introduction. Such an honor to be here. Alex truly is not only an incredible artist, poet, photographer too, tarot reader, but he is one of the best writers that I know. And I think my sister here, Grace Terry, is going to be able to testify. He has created from the ethers, from also his soul wisdom, for more than 30 years. He's been working on the personal development and evolutionary service to humanity, always in service of how can we get better, how can we serve humanity better. And so that's an aspect of, I teach something called futuring. And in futuring, he has something called the 4 quadrants. This is his book. We have something called the 4 different styles of futures: dark, dim, bright, and brilliant. And the 4 quadrants of evolution, especially quadrant 4, aim to take humanity into the more brilliant, elevated, restorative, and just very, very powerful and joyful kind of future that we all have access to. And for me, when I first read the 4 quadrants of evolution, Alex and I started developing our 4 quadrants of evolution language. I think that's going to be the next thing. So if you hear us anytime saying, "Oh, honey, we are very into I'm quadranting 4," you will be now, when you read the book, you'll understand what are Yvonne and Alex talking about. So one of the things I do want to highlight, and I have my notes. First of all, I want to tell you that Alex, I do not know. I would love to interview him eventually, and I will for my YouTube channel. But the origins and inspiration that how I witnessed he received this book is like very channeling, intuitive with the soul line, number 1, which is very aligned to evolution. Whenever you receive something with soul, it's aligned with evolution, and it's aligned with something that you can offer to humanity to create something that is called a brilliant future. And I have witnessed his personal experiences, how the model that he's offering to humanity, which is kind of like, it gives us a map to where we are at, not whole as a being, but maybe And my, in my finances, I may be in quadrant 3, and you have to read the book to understand it. Or in my relationships, I may be in quadrant 2, which there's nothing wrong, nothing good, nothing bad. It gives me like a GPS of where I stand in my evolutionary path right now. And I know, Shasya, you are here and you wrote a testimonial, so I think you can testify. And Alex, through these 5 more minutes, 4 quadrants of evolution, birthing into humanity. He has written before this. I do want to tell you a lot of books. I do want to mention this. He has El Arte de Ser Humano. I have my notes here because it's so many. He has Rainbow in the Land with No Time. He has, just for you to see how the quadrants is not something that, oh, I just channel a message. No. This is something that is being offered to humanity at this very important moment in time. He has El Tesoro de Luna. He has El Grial Interior. He has Huellas de Luz. He has The Grail Within, a magical testimony of transformation and integration. He has El Color de tu Destino, The Game of Remembrance, Revelaciones del Grail, It Takes Only a Child, music that he's created, and so on. The reason I'm introducing him like that is because, someone that develops a new system in humanity, it takes time, sometimes, not all of the times, for people to understand the system. But when a system can help us find out where we are at, truly, it's why it says the 4 quadrants of evolution. That's why the word evolution is so important here. So I don't know, honey, I don't know if I can ask you questions or if you want me to emphasize a little bit more.
Sure, this is a very free-flowing conversation.
Oh, I'm so excited. Everybody, I'm so excited about the book of Alex. I'm so excited. I was here an hour before, and I am bombarding the author, Alex. Alex, it hasn't started yet. He's like, not yet, all the count. 1 hour. And I'm like, Grace, it's not starting. What's going on? Okay. I'm going to tell you something. The 4 quadrants were developed by Alex, and I really believe that they serve as a very powerful framework to help you understand, or anybody understand, where you stand at this pivotal moment in our lives and in the context of humanity. It is rooted in really deep intuition. Alex operates on his intuition mostly, I believe, his soul, the communication that he has directly with the soul. And very practical too, because it's not something that is very woo-woo out there. You can read the quadrants and you can define like, oh, this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is how I can move into another level of quadrant, etc., etc., etc. And what else did I wrote here? This is, I think one of the most important things of the 4 quadrants is really developed to support us all as individuals, as individuated source consciousness, to recognize not only our current position, but the power, the grace, the benevolence that no matter what quadrant we are in, we can evolve, right? And we can support one another evolve. And we can actually not achieve, because quadrant 4 is not about that. And again, you have to read the book, right? But it's going to be like really an allowance, a magnetization, a more joyful experience when we learn how to move in these quadrants, in this 3-dimensional manifestation as multidimensional beings. So I really like it because it's going to help people make more empowering and elevated decisions regarding not only their present moment and also the perception of the past, but also about their futures. So I'm super excited to be here. Again, my name is Yvonne de la Flor, and many blessings for this book, and I can't wait to buy it. I can't wait to buy it.
Thank you, Yvonne. There will be an announcement very soon. So
yes.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, my dear. Bless you. Thank you.
And by the way, Yvonne de la Flor, she wrote the foreword of the book, and it's a beautiful piece. She has a participation. She's one of the first people that read the book and wrote something so beautiful that it's also an amazing jewel in the book. So thank you, Yvonne, for your words and for everything that you're sharing with all the people here around and that are interested in these topics and is searching of new approaches to get there. We don't know where, but it's the fourth quadrant.
The fourth quadrant, everybody.
To get there.
Pay attention. Yeah.
Now we have a beautiful person. I really like her very much. She is a delicious writer. She's a poet. She lives near us, and we have the great opportunity to have her here in the same table with Alex. She is Cass Roberts, and well, she's going to give us some comments about the book that she already had in her hands reading for it.
And she wrote a beautiful novel that is called Black Stilettos and the Virgin Mary, everybody. And it was an incredible journey. Yeah. So here is Cass or Caroline.
Yes, my name is Caroline, but to my friends, I'm Cass. Thanks very much for inviting me, Alex. It was such a pleasure to be invited and to read your book. And so I went through it very quickly. I can't wait to see the final version because mine wasn't the final version, but let me just, my comments, okay. I love the way you write in these. I have read some of your books before, and I love the way you write. You express your deepest thoughts, you know, about the human condition with such empathy and such kindness and non-judgmentally. So I really appreciate that, especially when you read my book and everything. So it's something I am aspiring to do, to become a non-judgmental, generous person as you are. I love the setup of your book, the Quadrants of Evolution. It makes reading it easy. At first, I was a little bit thrown off because I found it a little bit difficult because it's actually talking about things that we don't like to think about too much. You know, it's just like, I'm perfect. What are you saying? But because of this structure, the 4 quadrants, you can see a progression, and that sort of makes life easier to find yourself in one quadrant or another quadrant or another or another. And while I was analyzing myself, because it forced me to analyze myself, even though I wanted to go out and play with my dogs, I said, I'm going to this. I realized that I actually am in 3 quadrants at the same time. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, is that possible?
Yes, of course.
To be in 3 quadrants at one time?
We can be actually in the 4 quadrants, different subjects at the same time, which takes away the edge of, oh, I have to reach this. No. We all want quadrant 4, and you will soon understand what I mean by that.
But you have to read the book.
It's the positive, how to reach quadrant 4. But for that, we need to realize and go back to the homework we haven't done.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes we're advancing a lot in the model of work, but we're not advancing in the model of health, or maybe we're doing great in relationships, but we're not doing good in work. So it gives tools to each one. Yes.
It does. And there's definitely a list. Like there's lists of things that we expect to get to. There's also lists of our beliefs when we're in those quadrants. Like the quadrant 1, the survivor. I totally see myself in there because I am still surviving my childhood, and it comes out every now and then, really whacks me in the face. So this was really good to see that I am still in there, and that I exactly what I have to work on in there. So I really liked reading that one. Went on to quadrant 2, and there I am again. You know, this very selfish, egoistic lady who's really thinking about herself, but not in a non-judgmental way, but I have to do this and I will step on anybody who gets in my way kind of person. So I saw myself there, and even I've been working really hard on trying to remove myself from that quadrant for many years. I found some tools in there to really help me. So going well. There's a lot to work on now, and And this will probably bring me back to writing again, because I've been like avoiding the writing, playing with my dogs. But this is something to really make me think. So I really am enjoying the book. Where I found myself most, though, is in quadrant 3. I tend to be very empathetic. I've been working on my humility because my what's it called? What do we call it? Arrogance overtakes me. My quadrant 2 arrogance overtakes me. And so I've been like working on my humility. And I have got to the point where I let people take advantage of me too much, or I'm doubtful about myself. Have I made the right decision? Am I going in the right direction? I want to be kind. No, it's not that I have to work on being kind. I mean, my mother was, I think, one of the most kind persons I've ever met in my life. And I thought one day I would like to be like my mum. And it's not hard to be kind. What it is hard to be is to stop overdoing it. So we're over generous, and we forget about ourselves and what our limits are. So quadrant 3 in your book has made me think a lot about that, and about where I'm going with that, and why do I let people try to overtake me, and why am I such a person, people pleaser? So you've really got me thinking on that one. I looked at quadrant 4 with an idea that I wasn't going to fit there at all. But I just said some points where, like you said, you can advance to this level in certain areas. So I was sort of pleased that I did have a little foothold in quadrant 4, but no, I'm going to start working in these areas. What I loved also was the fact that we do not judge. We should not be judging. The thing is, we are where we are. It is what it is. It's not like, oh, you're a stupid person, you're in quadrant 1.
Exactly.
So I did like that very much, because I felt I was not being judged. I felt I did have the ability to look at myself and move out of it. So this is really helping me a lot. And I just started your book 2 weeks ago when Alex sent it to me. And I can't believe that in 2 weeks, Alex has helped me to recognize all these things. Let me see. I did have a couple of things here. Childhood traumas, blah, blah, blah. You know how we always say those things. Okay. What I found interesting in quadrant 2 was also about this secrecy, or this doing things on our own and not letting anybody know about it. And that really made me think about it too. And it's the fact that I do that, I just go off and say, oh yeah, well, you can do what you bloody like. I'm going to go over here and do this. And I'm not going to tell anybody I'm doing it. And it's usually because we end up being judged when we do things, when we're outward and saying, I'm going to buy a piece of land and build a house. And everybody's going to be, why are you going to do that? No, that's a lot of money. You don't have enough money to do that. And then you end up going, no, I'm not going to do it. And you're very disappointed. So I saw myself being very secretive about those things. So, let me see. Eye blinks. I loved your eye blinks. I love the way you call them eye blinks. So we have these little thoughts that help us get through, to our next step. No, aren't they? Yes. Eye blinks are for that.
Yes.
And I was going to write a few examples, but I don't have that here with me right now. Okay, so when people ask why I'm doing something, oh, that's what I say. Yes, that's what I say. My planting of trees, that was my trauma, because everybody was like, why are you planting those trees? Okay, what else can I say? I loved it. I'm going to read it again as soon as the new version comes out. And it's going to start me writing again. And the first thing I'm going to do is write my experiences and how this book has helped me to think about those experiences and how I can move on.
Thank you so
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Alex.
Thank you.
It's been a great experience.
Thank you, Kaz. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Your
Thank
approachment
you. Loved it.
and this intention of talking about the book and your experience, it's really, really, really lovely. You made me think something before we continue. It's about, we think a lot or talk about, that things are not like that in a timeline that it's very linear, We talk about that.
Yeah.
But feeling it and finding ourselves in different dimensions of possibilities at the same time, as Cass said, that's why I'm talking about this. It's amazing when we can get the consciousness of this being in all these situations at the same time, and these possibilities and these approaches from our experience. So I think that it makes us go in a deeper way of perceiving the universe and our perspective of life. So it's a great invitation. Thank you guys for this approach and this reminder that we talk about a lot, but we now have this opportunity to really get the consciousness of it, and living in it. So thank you. Well, now, a dearest friend of Alex, I know it because he talks about her. He mentioned her in these 7 years that I know him, or 8 or 9, I don't know how many, a lot of years. I have always listened to this name, and she is Grace Terry. She's an artist, soul vocalist, voice coach, and a cosmic astrologer. And she is going to give us today an approach of astrology and this book particularly. So thank you, Grace, for being here with us.
Thank you, Monica, for the presentation. And Alex, what can I say? I'm so excited. I had a dream with Alex, like more than 25 years ago, that he was going to write a book that was going to be a game changer. And I'm sure that this is it. We have been talking about this for a long, long time. And I have known Alex, well, I guess it was in the 2000, around that year. And all the things that we have been going through, it's been incredible. He is a master. You are a master, my dear Alex, and I am so proud to be here, so honored to be part of this presentation. And what can I say? Well, we are entering Pluto in Aquarius right now. We are already there. So this is huge. Why? Because in the next 20 years, the humanity is going to see a change of the game. And when I read the 4 quadrants of evolution, I said, he's right on point of what's going on in the evolution through Pluto in Aquarius, this time of humanity. And for me, this book it's like a chess game. It's like a game for the matrix. It's like an evolution to serve the matrix. And I said, this is genius, because we can tap into one of the quadrants, and then it can give us the hint to where we go, where to navigate, not as a judgmental, oh, I am in the 1 quadrant, or I am in the 2nd or the 3rd. It's like to see it more as a co-creation with Pluto in Aquarius, and to see where we want to go. It's like what Yvonne said about the futuring, which I love futuring, and it goes hand in hand, because if we really want to be a better human, because that's what we are here for, the evolution of the planet, to be a better human. So this is something to realize that I love the creator, or I love the individualist. I love the survivor and the empath, because all of them plays what is to be a human in this lifetime, in this time of what we are going through as a humanity. one of the aspects that is very important in Pluto in Aquarius is about creation. It's about creating the new realities that is going to come for the human being. So this is why I said this is like a game. For me, I see this also not as a book, but also as a game, as like a Monopoly, or, what's the name? Serpents and ladders, I think it is, or something like that. So we can make also as a game board to do this, because it's always not to be so serious about the human evolution, because when we go through the inner work, therapy, we can get very serious, my childhood and what I'm going through, my relationships. Also, not to take this as serious, but also to take as a game, as a creating something new. So if I am in the individualist, great, I am there, not judgment. So that's, for me, this is the next step of evolution besides psychologist. And I work as a psychologist and therapist. So when I read this book, which I highly recommend, and in a moment, I think Alex will explain a little bit of each quadrant so people will have a little bit of information of each one of them. Not all of the information, because that's the reason why you are going to get this book. But for me, to tell you, Alex, I'm going to make a game, a board game, and I'm going to work on this in my astrology. This is fantastic. This is genius. Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you so much, Grace.
Thank you, Grace.
Thank you so much.
Well, and now I know that maybe some of you have a lot of questions for the authors, so don't worry, your time is coming anyway. So, Alex, here's a promise in the program of this event, and it's about listening to you, about your mission in this moment, and why now? I know that you've been working with this information for a long time ago, because we've chatted about that, a lot of things. The other books that you wrote have some hints about what was coming.
Yeah.
But now, when this happened, why? And your mission with this book.
Thank
What
you. Well, first of all, I want to say a deep, deep, deep heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you. Shasya, who is also here, Shasya Subhani, Donnell Davis, who was also participating, Bruno Seolin, my own acupuncturist who read the book, and everybody endorsed it. And I'm very grateful for that, along with Grace and Yvonne, everyone. If I'm missing someone right now, I'm sorry, but it's the excitement of the moment. This book, I've been saying and feeling, and I keep hearing in my head, it comes with a mission, it comes with a mission, it comes with a mission. And I never heard that before as I was creating the other books.
Okay.
And I think it comes with a mission because it comes with a system. And unlike the other books, because some books are fantasy fiction, such as the Rainbow Stories, or the one that I started with, our journey together started with a book in Spanish called, in English, I'll translate, The Art of Being a 5.0 Human, or a 5-dimensional human. But we've commented that it doesn't have a system. It has a collection of essays on how to evolve, but it doesn't offer the tools necessary to understand progress. The tools necessary to understand compassion as well, and that we move from one dimension to another constantly, just like a plane, or maybe a boat, or maybe even a bus ride, or a car ride. There's bumpiness in the road. It's not like we're going to finally one day go from A to B in a straight line and everything's smooth, because as I love what Sheila Gilletta's channel says, Sheila Gillette says that challenge is the curriculum of life. And I've been enough time working in what we call the alternative schools of evolution,
Yes.
where we become a little too obsessed with sanitizing everything, which is very bothersome to me at this point, because when we do that, we cancel the human experience as a whole.
Mhm.
And human experience as a whole has ups and downs and a lot of turnarounds. And when sometimes you want to be this beautiful, compassionate, heartfelt being, and you want your mind to be absolutely pure, you cancel out the moments when you're not feeling good, when you're not feeling happy, when you're feeling very angry, when
Yeah.
you feel afraid. I just went, and this is very important to share, Monica.
Uh-huh.
I went through
Oh, yeah.
3 months of hell the beginning of this year, because I developed a neuropathy that was excruciatingly painful. And this is where the sanitizing came in. People started to diagnose me. My own friends went like, well, don't you think this might have to do with your parents? Don't you think you might want to do this or that? Like, they know me forever, and it's as if I had never done personal work on myself. And I started feeling incomprehended.
Yeah.
I started judged. I started feeling alone.
Yes.
I didn't know who to talk to most of the time. I had my great and my dear sisters who've always supported me, non-judgmentally, but there were other people whom I wanted to share this with. And I just took a step back because I was starting to have a little depression. In other words, I went into survivor mode, and I went to the survivor quadrant, which is not bad at all, because survivor has a gift,
Of course.
which is resilience, is discovering your true potential, discovering your true strength, and moving through the difficulty as opposed to trying to cancel it out. So that's my answer. Is like, there's a system here for any particular experience and any particular stage, as also Kaz was mentioning, that you may be facing right now, but also moving forward to the most positive experiences.
I love what you say, because it's an invitation to really be authentic and honest with ourselves.
Yes.
Because sometimes we are, like in some makeup that, no, I am so compassionate, it's the new era, and I'm going to help everybody, and don't worry, be happy. And it's okay. But as you said, every quadrant has a gift, and not denying what we are in a whole is what is going to give us the possibility of keep evolving, accepting that we are humans in this stage, and that we have all that in ourselves. And it's beautiful, because we can be resilient, and we can be compassionate, and we can be sometimes very assertive and trying to get something more for our lives. And it's not something that we have to deny or be afraid of or be ashamed of.
Yes.
So it's a beautiful invitation to integrate all these possibilities that we are anyway, although we don't want to say it, So if you have any question, please, I think that we have some comments around here. So if we can read them and maybe answer to you, please. Alex is checking on the, or if you want to raise your hands and take the mic, maybe we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. Why not? Let's make it as if we're live. So if somebody wants to ask something, maybe they can raise their virtual hand, and we make it a little more interactive with the time we have. There is a big announcement at the end, so
yes, of course, we have another.
Stay until the end.
Okay, maybe some shy people.
Gracias, Gabi. Thank you, Gabi. Aduay, Enrique.
An honor to be here.
And we're reading a little bit of the comments. Thank you for that. Alex Mutal, qué gusto escucharte en la introducción y verte, Ivonne. You can read the comments yourselves in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, Gildy. There's a hand? Where?
Yeah,
okay. All right, Rebe, you can open your microphone if you wish.
Hello, Alex. Hello,
Hi,
Monica.
Rebe.
I'm so happy to be here. as a witness of the presentation of this book that for me is an amazing information. And I have a question, Alex.
Yes.
Well, I have two questions. Is this book will be published only in English, or are you planning to publish in Spanish? And the other question is, are you planning to create a version of this book for children? Thank you in advance.
Well, answer number one is I'm already working on the translation. It takes art to translate because nothing can be literal from one language to another, but I'm already in that process. I stopped a little the process to finally get this book out because births are elaborate, to say the least. I have not thought about the version for children, but it would be very nice to do it. As you know, I like to write for children and young adults. So eventually I'll put it on my list and in my dreams, and let's make it happen. Yeah, why not? I love it. Let's do it. Maybe a story that illustrates the process. Thank you, Rebe.
Yvonne.
Yvonne, you raised your hand, my dear.
Honey, I'm prepared. I'm prepared with questions. I'm like a podcaster, interviewer. So the first question that I have is about the origins and inspiration of your book. What inspired you to develop the 4 quadrants framework?
Well, you'll find this funny, but it was desperation. I was desperate to help a very dear client of mine who was not moving through. She was not being able to move forward with her health. And some of it is narrated in the book, so I don't want to spoil the whole thing. But it was the desire and the need to help her move through and evolve that I received a major download. It was almost like the system came all together through channeling, and I had to unpack it because this is what happens. And I want to share this experience for everybody because we can all have this ability. We have the ability to download information. It's been proven by many authors throughout the years. Beethoven says he downloaded. Rudyard Kipling, the one who wrote Jungle, book, the Jungle Book. I was gonna say Jungle Story. Jungle Book. He said he was dreaming one night and he got the whole novel together over a dream. Mathematicians say the same. So I experienced this as a download. And what I do is I start unpacking it, and then I start kind of to stretch the information until it becomes a system. And then I look to demonstrate that the system works. From beginning to now, it's been 3 years. So yeah, that's what created the book.
Can I ask you 2 more questions?
Yeah. And then we go with Bruno.
Okay.
Well, I see Bruno's hand.
Let me choose. I have many questions, but I want to just the most relevant because the other things are going to be in the book.
More than
I want to talk to you about the organization because we spoke about this bringing it into business, right?
Yes.
How can individuals and organizations use the 4 quadrants to create lasting focus on evolution as a company, as an employer, employee, as a participant in the community called humanity? How can they use it? How can the practical applications of the 4 quadrants in the field of business?
I love it because each one of the quadrants will present you with a series of challenges, and each person in an organization will probably be facing those challenges in disorder. There's not an orderly way that we face those challenges. As said, some people might be working hard, but with a health issue. Some people might be very healthy, but not progressing in their work, or maybe they're not being creative enough, or maybe they're not playing team in a way that is responsible and coherent. So each one of the quadrants that offers so many tools, because first we have to identify the unevolved aspect of each quadrant. I call it unevolved. I don't call it prehistoric. I don't call it, I call it unevolved because it has the potential to grow. And we have to find ourselves in the most common beliefs of the unevolved to see, oh my gosh, I still have this belief that is against my own well-being and probably against what I want to bring forth as my highest and greatest potential. So as we move through the quadrants, as we understand what we're dealing with as challenges in each one of those quadrants, then we are able to complement with the gift or the resources that each quadrant brings. For example, one of the things that has not been identified society-wise, Yvonne, is that we all love the empath, right? He's a beautiful soul, just so giving and so giving and so nice and so nice and so nice. And what I downloaded is it looks really good on the curriculum to be that nice, but it's not the last stop in the evolution journey. Sometimes when you give it all, you're attracting the one who will take it all. And then the empath feels abused, goes into the drama, is the most, you will be shocked to know, this is the most judgmental of the 4 quadrants. Creator, survivor, and individualist are not focused on judging others. They're more focused either on surviving or creating or fending for themselves. But the empath is the one that is always ill-dignified and kind of gets offended very easily. That's the dark side of the empath. Although it has been said, and I wrote it in the book, they're the jewel of creation because of their such openness of heart. But if you have someone being an empath in an enterprise, maybe they won't be assertive enough, and they have to work on that. They have to work on setting limits and not feeling like the bad person in the room just for saying no. So this is something we work on through an entire chapter to understand why it happens, how it happens, and how to kind of work the rough edges of that. So we move to assertiveness. It's not just like, I couldn't say, oh, be assertive. Oh, now you know what the 4th quadrant, what the 3rd quadrant is. No. It takes sometimes a lot of work. I'm still working with my empath. I'm still working on the threshold of creator and moving to the most radiant opportunity and future that we can have.
Thank you, Alex.
I
I love that. And the last one, because I know there are some hands raised, right, Bruno,
Yes.
and everything. And I teach futuring, and recently, we just got, I got invited to speak in a lot of schools, because one of the things that is missing right now in humanity, as a, let's call it spiritual, this is not a disease, is the lack of vision, the lack of having the children not only believe in their future, but also the whole community supporting the creation of futures, right? Like the brilliant future, the elevated future. So regarding the future of education, regarding the future of evolution, because, the future loves speed, not fast, but loves the speed. Like, I think that's what Grace Terry will call the Aquarian era, right? How do you see the evolution of the 4 quadrants in the next decade? And that's my last question.
Well, I do hope that, first of all, we move out of non-judgment instead of non-polarity. Why? Because the polarity is what brings us the opportunity to move forward. But if we judge the polarity, this is when we get stagnated, because then I can point my finger to somebody who is or too nice or too violent or too this or too that. So the first thing I would say is, let us love polarity for what it is. This is a planet where polarity works for evolution and not judge it or try to avoid it. Second, if we integrate the qualities and gifts of each of the quadrants, then what happens is like a body that is working everything together. Think about body, heart, mind, and soul. The quadrants are a little bit like that. Like survivor could be your body, the empath could be your heart, individualist can be your creative mind, and creator can be your soul. So when you bring them together, when you make them team up in your own self, in your own map, then you're very clear about where you want to go, which one of those traits is the most important for the now. And then you can move forward even to the unknown, because one of the things that I say is that although the creator, the 4th quadrant is the creator, and is the less explored. There's very few people in this planet exploring and exploiting in a positive way the creator mode. A lot of people, we are all being strong consumers of reality as opposed to creators of systems and the new reality. Too many people are distracted in being ill-dignified because this happened and that happened and that happened, and we're distracted about our own creation, our own world. So it's really important that people move towards the creator quadrant, which is positive, which some people see almost as impossible, or they judge it, like people who are already in the fourth quadrant, they go like, oh no, he's totally with his head in the sand. This is like, they're being totally unrealistic. Well, I have not seen to date statues for people or monuments for people who criticize, who judge, like this bronze pointing their finger because they didn't agree, whether it's Newton's theory or, somebody creating a new version of architecture. You don't see bronzes to people who are just pointing their finger, complaining, being ill-dignified, and just unhappy. So let's all be creators. We're all here to create a world. And the more we move forward in the next years towards that experience and opportunity, then the world will change in the way we wanted to see changed, and not in the way we wish. We're not wishing, in the way we're allowing consumerism for the world to be. Like, the world is turning into what we consume instead of what we create. There's so many new tools to create right now. I'm creating music. Thanks to the illness that I had in the beginning of the year, I just became a lyricist again. After 20 years, I was writing songs, which, by the way, there's 4 songs inside the book that you can find with QR codes. You just click on the code. It will take you to the song of that quadrant to illustrate the feeling and the soul of that particular quadrant. Anyway, I hope that I answered the question.
Well.
Okay, thank you, Yvonne. Bruno, you wanted to ask something?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you. Greetings from Berlin. And one question, and it's a little bit related to the previous question that were posed. How would I explain, or how would you explain your work, your book, to a 4-year-old child? Because if a 4-year-old understands it, I will understand it for sure.
Well, yes and no, because 4-year-olds, you have not gone through the 4 quadrants. So it's like trying to explain algebra. How do you explain algebra to a 4-year-old? Wait for him to evolve to the level where he can understand algebra. The book is definitely not designed at this point for someone who's not gone through experiences, because he or she is so receptive to life that I wouldn't want to anchor any kind of label to someone who has not acquired its own experiences and impressions yet. This is more about us as adults being able to identify in a language that can be understood by an adult how to move forward no matter where you're standing. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, my dear.
Sure. Thank you for being here, my dear.
Well, now that you were talking, I could feel the energy and the passion about this mission and the love that you're giving. I don't know you, but you can say yes or no. I started feeling, how Alex was embodying something so powerful that he's manifesting about his words, that it's like, oh God, this carrying something very, very, very important for all of us. So thank you, Alex, for this passion and for this. I haven't seen you like that in so many times in any of the presentations that we've done. This passion is the first time that I can feel it. So in a book presentation, of course. So now we are at the end. There's somebody else?
Yeah, we have Mariana wanting to ask something.
Please.
Hi, Mariana.
Hi, is that okay? Sorry, I know you're nearing the end.
Yeah, we still have time.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to say I'm very excited for you, and when you were saying the empath, I'm very empathic and just kind of like setting limits and not always being too over nice. It's like, oh, I always like just did that recently. So that was like a really good reminder. I was wondering if you sell the book digitally because I live in the US. So I feel like shipping it would be a lot of work. So I was just curious if you were selling it in digital format. And thank you.
Well, I think that answer is going to be for me.
Yeah.
Right?
Editor.
Well, that's part of the invitation that we have for all of you today, because yes, we are launching the book today, but we are launching exactly the digital book through Amazon and Kindle. So it's perfect. You don't have to wait no more time for having it, any of you. And we decided just to, because it's ready, and making the design and preparing a book for printing, the printing version, it takes a little bit longer. So because of the equinox and some other things that Alex and I were talking about, it was decided to launch the digital book right now. And we're gonna have a beautiful experience soon with the printed version. It's already in the, I think that it's in the printing.
Yeah, it's ordered. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ordered. And also we're gonna have the paperback in Amazon later at the same time of the printing is out. So right now we have a special promotion, of course, for all of you that are in here and all the followers that couldn't be in at this time, in this moment, friends and clients and family and wherever, Alex, colleagues, writers, wherever, that can take the book right now in Amazon. It's with an offer of $2.99 for the next hours. So, well, you can just click and take them. So let me know where can they get the links. We're going to publish them or send them, or we can put them here in the.
We can actually put the link here. ¿Tienes el link?
Yes.
Me lo mandas.
Yeah.
We're going to put the link right now here in the chat of the reunion so that you can click directly and you can get the discount, the special discount for all of you, which is a thank you to everyone who has supported this. A lot of people told me that they wanted to be in the reunion, but they couldn't for different reasons. I thought that Saturday morning, who's going to miss the Saturday morning reunion? Some people go like, oh, I have a workshop, I have this, I'm traveling, blah, blah, blah. But it's still very excited that all of you came here and that they're waiting also for that, And they said, please send the replay. So
yeah, I want to tell you something about the while Alex is sharing the link. This digital book in Kindle is going to show you just a few ideas of what is the complete book in the print. I think that we should have all of them because we can have the digital book for any place that we are, and we can consolidate, or we can just read it anywhere we are. And it's amazing. I really love this kind of book, especially with the Kindle, because you can, I think that you all know that we can manage, and personalize the reading of preferences that we want. And I want to thank, she's not here, but the designer, a friend, a beautiful girl that made an amazing work. And I remember Alex just expressing minute by minute, I love it. This is she made like really beautiful art of the book, not just in the cover, but in the inside. And you can see some of the things that you'll find in the final book in the digital. So we can have the same experience of love, art, and the music, and all these details that Alex has worked on. And it's coming.
Ta-da!
I can hear.
You are the first ones to ever get connection to this book. Right now, you are assisting the birth of this book in Amazon. So thank you.
Yeah.
So here's the link. You have it on the chat right now.
So if you have the link for Amazon.com or Amazon.com Mexico also, because I could see, or any other place, well, you can find it in your own store with the same discount for the next hours.
Hours is 2 hours, 3 hours?
3 hours.
We have 3 hours to buy the book at a discount. And also it's going to assist that more people get to know this material. To me, this is a mission, honestly. This is a mission. And I'm going to be offering workshops. Oh, for those of you, I have to say,
Yes.
for those of you who buy the book today, you're going to get a free masterclass where I'm going to complement the information and share a lot more about why this is not just another self-help book, because it's not. It's not a self-help system. It's the creation of a new culture. That's the idea. As Yvonne very well said, now we're speaking the Q1, Q2, Q3. Oh, I'm in a Q3, honey, right now.
So
I'm working on a Q3, I'm in the drama, but it's all good, or I'm Q4 today. And the more you get involved in that language, the more you realize that you're attracting experiences to your life that will expand and enhance. You move forward. In other words, if somebody told me, what's this book about? Moving forward in your life.
Yeah.
Faster, better, and more loving than before. That's the idea of this book. So, okay, is it possible to pay an effective for the book somehow? This is who asking.
I don't know who, but no, in Amazon. There's no way that we can send it to you through Amazon.
Well, only in San Miguel, because I ordered 50 books for the next presentation. That's next month. We're going to have a beautiful cocktail presentation live here in San Miguel. If somebody is near, you're welcome to come.
If you want that, to have the book in advance, it's going to be the paperback. You can just send a WhatsApp to you and just pre-order the.
Okay, they're asking if the link I gave everyone has the discount. Well, yeah, because actually for Kindle it's going to be double the price. Right now it's only $3. It's $59.92 is pesos. It's not dollars, okay?
Mexican.
It's not $59. It's pesos. That's $299.
Yeah.
Like it can't get cheaper than that.
To move, if that's the case, you have to move just to Amazon.com.
If you're unhappy about the discount, call my editor. No, just kidding. Okay. So
you're going to publish my number?
No, any more questions? We're reaching the end of this reunion with great gratitude to all of you. All my love to you. Thank you, because this book is for you. I wrote this book for everyone. And please, if you feel prompted, share this opportunity with others. Let others know that there's a discount right now if you feel somebody might benefit from a little bit of what you heard today. Okay? I'm going to keep. Yeah. So masterclass to those who send me. Everybody here has my WhatsApp. If you buy the book, just send me the photo so I can invite you to the free masterclass, which is going to be actually next Saturday. I'll give you the exact date and hour, but it's next Saturday. Everything's going to happen on Saturdays in one way or another. So next Saturday, masterclass for everyone who buys the book today. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Are we done?
Yeah, thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, guys, of course. Thank you, and Bruno and Grace, because all of you gave a beautiful approach to your own vision of the book. And thank you, guys.
Of
course. I know. Maybe there's somebody else over there. I don't know. And thank you for all the people that have worked with Alex, inspired him, being here, being companions, friends, and loving persons around his life. Thank you. Thank you all.
Big hug to everyone.
And enjoy.
Any questions, you can always call me. I'll be here for you. Bye. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Have a great, great weekend. And now, okay. Ta-da, wait. I'll stop recording.